15 plus to go, there's still so much to see. With our knowledge and stats and gear, surely it will be easy. 25 full years of questing, haven't died or banked once even. RuneScape 3 Hardcore Ultimate Ironman, questing through 2011. Welcome back to November 7th, 2011. I'm going to get to the end of the year here, but we also need to slow down a little bit and go back to some stuff that we unlocked this year, because we ran straight past a lot of things. Definitely some stuff we could unlock which would be good to get, worthwhile rewards and all that. But first, we also have some good things before we get to the end of the year, which are also going to be very helpful. So let's start with updates. On November 9th, 2011, bot busting update, going over more legal proceedings, suing bot makers and the websites and players that bot and all that, cheating and all that. And of course, unsurprisingly, the bot makers lying about how all this is so inappropriate and they can't sue us. Totally can. Totally do. Giving some people one last chance before banning everybody and everything. Ridiculous stuff. We also got some RuneFest Insider Session videos. All the cool stuff happening at RuneFest. And a White Knights versus Black Knights Clan Wars event. Whether or not people are actually going to come in white and black armor or actual gear, it's a question. On November 11th, 2011, got the last of the RuneFest videos put up on YouTube. And a whole post of all the different RuneFest competition winners. Because there was a bunch of stuff. Between the Golden Gnomes and the costume contests and the gallery and lots of good stuff. Also got a double loot weekend to celebrate the bot nuke. Get double loot at God Wars, Barrows, a couple dungeons, and double XP and tokens in Daemonheim. Which we could go and make nice use of if that existed and we got that. More dungeoneering. Happen at some point here. Well, there is future things that are also going to make it even better, and more reasons to also go to dungeoneering, so at this point we might just wait for that. We got plans. We got ideas. On November 15th, 2011, get a sneak peek of the new look website, which does look pretty similar to the current website. Has been slightly redesigned multiple times, of course. Anyways, on November 17th, 2011, put up a poll on login and frame rate issues that were introduced with the bot nuke. More checking and everything, I suppose. Less stable. Which is not really what you want. On November 18th, 2011, go get a turkey hat when you redeem a 90-day membership card. Eventually, available from other sources too. That's later. You also get the results of the guaranteed content poll for naming a quest NPC. Coming up soon. We'll see Sarah. Anyway. On November 22nd, 2011, you get the whole new look website. The game manual is now a community editable wiki. It's got event sections, news, and social media feeds. A bunch of new options on the website. We've also changed the high scores to be members only, with a 14-day grace period before you are removed from the high scores. Exactly how it works for if you come back, where you're going to be placed on the high scores, especially if you have 200 million experience and your ranks are supposed to be locked in. Question. There's just a lot of people on the high scores. It's the whole thing. And also with the new editable wiki, the whole quest help system has been removed, where you get multiple points for small and large hints per day. I had to keep going through and making new quest help sections. Just all in the wiki. It's fine. Also got some new anti-gold farming measures. From this point, new free-to-play players can only give away, or duel, or lose in PvP 25,000 GP per day. Extra restrictions on like noted items in PvP and any ways that try to get around the system. Because a lot of the bots and a lot of real-world trading has come from basically suicide accounts, which bot as much as they can, as long as they can, until they get banned. So if they can't get rid of any of their ill-gotten gains, there's no point. And you can get rid of these restrictions by purchasing membership. Interesting, there's no, if you're free to play for like months or complete anything else, it's just all free to play players. Except only new ones. If you already exist, you can still do all the trading you want. Free trade and all that. Anyways, for more gameplay kind of things, we got the patch notes. Catherine holds her dagger correctly. A wall has returned in Lumbridge. The Goliath gloves no longer bind you, since they're supposed to be binding your opponent. No longer spawn duplicate Barrows brothers in the tunnels. The Barbarian Assault, Great Orb Project, and Shades of Morton now have minigame icons on the map. The Bone Crusher works better with falconry, so you can keep the correct number of inventory spaces open and it just works. Also get left click pest control monsters, skeletal wyverns, and chaos elemental, since there's still no just actual choose which left or right click you want specifically. And for even higher level stuff, several bosses have had their spawn rates increased. And very luckily for us, frost dragons now use their orb ability less often. Well, that's good. We were getting hit by that off and on. We were mostly defeating the frost dragons fast enough that we didn't have to worry about the orb. But if we didn't pay any attention, the reflect damage really did a pretty big number on us. That's okay. We've also got improved leprechaun storage. They now can store plant cures, 255 buckets, 5 scarecrows, and the magic secateurs, even if you have them equipped and not in your inventory. This goes straight into storage. So this will allow us to have more buckets to more easily get more compost going. Also store plant cures. Not that plant cures kind of work. Things get diseased, they never die. Farming is weird. And also over at Herblore Habitat, you can store some of the vines. So we go do some Herblore Habitat, we can get some vines in storage for making Herblore Habitat potions and stuff. See if we get up to that in our list of things in 2011 we're worrying about. We also have some interface improvements, icons, borders, and text pop-ups in locations, instead of always just being in the chat box. Frees it up for other things like just being open and available. And we also have the Turkey Protest Thanksgiving event. Go talk to Captain Turkerton and the Turkey Protesters at the Cooks Guild. They want to get turkey removed from the Thanksgiving menu. Understandably, since they are turkeys. You go and talk to King Rold. You need to get ingredients to make an alternate meal. Herbs and spices from Bob Barter. Fine wines from the Blue Moon Inn. Bunch of fruits and vegetables from the general store. Get all this together, return to the king, and then back to Captain Turkerton to receive the turkey crest for the Herald Capes, and the give thanks emote if you didn't already have that from the previous Thanksgiving events. But then, just as everything seems to be wrapping up, a guard comes to arrest Captain Turkerton for plotting against the crown, messing up the dinner and all that. And the turkey will be executed unless someone will vouch for him. If you don't vouch for him, he'll be taken into the Cook's Guild and stabbed to death. But if you do, the guard will say he's a vegetarian anyways and lets the turkeys escape. And then, once that situation is finished, Mackers, the cake-loving turkey, who was only here at the protest because he heard there would be cake, will come and follow you around if you're a member in hopes that you will find him some cake, or will leave to search for cake if you're free to play. Mackers, the turkey pet. Look at him. He's a turkey. He's having a good time. He wants cake. You can give him cake. It's pretty great. More Mackers things later. Also, if you want to kill the turkeys instead, there's some angry turkeys north of Falador. They drop raw turkey and raw turkey drumsticks and cornucopias. All sorts of stuff. And then, on November 24th, 2011, the 100,000 subscriber video with 100 players saying that they're part of the 100,000 on YouTube. There were so many submissions, they could have made the video 2 hours long, but they didn't. So even the best ones and the top ones get prizes and stuff, fun stuff. Probably still up on the YouTube channel. Then we got, on November 25th, 2011, a poll for potential RuneFest 2012 locations, considering some spots in the United States, which would be different than the previous ones in London. On November 28th, 2011, patch notes. We got some new loading screens. The animation for cutting gems will show the gem that you're actually cutting. Mackers no longer requires Wolf Whistle, because he's technically a summoning pet follower guy. And that requires summoning, except for cats, so why don't they just make it like that? Also can't be stored in the toy box anymore, because he's a turkey pet, not a toy. Sure. The Dominion Tower Endurance Mode is now capped at 250 matches. Get around the bit limit 256. Stop messing everything up. Get weird calculations when everything's wrong. Also, ignored people can't send you Dungeoneering party invite spam. And other players' hit splats are now darker, so you can see what you hit in multi-combat situations. That's nice. Also got a new Slayer block slot if you have 300 quest points, which we do. So if I want to do some Slayer later, we can get some more things blocked. There's definitely still some Slayer monsters that don't exist that we could get as tasks, probably. Really depends which master we go to, I suppose. Our Slayer level is not particularly high, being our second lowest skill, in fact. Just haven't really had good reasons or good weapons yet. We could go get some Chaotix and a Crystal Bow or something. But we might have some other ideas on that regard. And also talking about more Slayer monsters. There's actually a whole bunch new here. Over in a new location. Fairy Ring. Select destination. BIP. The island, connected next to the Mage Training Arena with a cave in it. Right across from Mauritania here. You can now go into the Polypore Dungeon. It is an absolutely massive place with a bunch of different levels, a bunch of different monsters, And just a whole bunch of stuff happening in here. Most of this side is single combat. Then there's a level 82 dungeoneering entrance over here. Can we get to there from here? Yes, we can. This vine popped up. 82 dungeoneering entrance here into a multi-combat area. And also a 73 agility jump over here. So over there is also multi-combat. It's just a absolutely huge place. It goes all the way down there. All these different levels. Let's grab our free dungeoneering XP for opening up this. 13,500. Wow, so the dungeoneering side, it's also large. And multiple floors and crazy. It's a crazy place out here. Down the vines. Just a huge, huge dungeon. Well, a variety of different monsters. All of which are weak to magic. Which is slightly inconvenient because of how runes and magic and all that works currently. And also possibly later, depending on how things go. Also, you can use a cannon for some reason until the evolution of combat, but still. Multiple monsters down in here. With like fungal axes and rats and stuff. Fungal mages. Grafolaroos, Grafalapines, Ganodermics. Down even lower. A bunch of weird stuff. Requiring levels in Slayer from 0, 82, 88, 95. Slayer tasks for everything. All sorts of cool stuff. Yeah. 82 Slayer we don't have yet, so we won't get too many of these as tasks. Again, also depends on which Slayer Master. Essentially, they are mushroom kind of guys. And they attack you with various mushroomy attacks, which you can stop the spores spreading by fighting them and getting neem oil from bits around the area and smash it to get a debuff on them, which stops them doing spore attacks, or just don't stand in melee distance, also works. You can kill them for flakes to make new sets of armors. Get fungal armor, which required 21 crafting until 2025, which became 21. It was 21, now it's 25 crafting. And it required 25 magic and defense. Changed to just defense. Evolution of combat, probably. That's very low level. Not very exciting. But then you can get grapholic armor, which required maximum of 78 crafting for the body. Comes in a hat, poncho, and leggings kind of thing. The hat's called visor, probably, something like that. 78 crafting became 60 in 2025. Requiring 55 magic and defense. And then later, only 60 defense. Kind of a mid-tier kind of magic armor. Still wouldn't be too useful for us, especially since we just have full lunar in the house. So, that's still not very good. And requires like 82 Slayer to get the flakes or something. So, couldn't get it even if we wanted to. One thing we might want to get, which would be good, would be Ganodermic armor. Requiring, at the start here, up to 98 crafting, which is very high level, and 95 Slayer to fight these guys to get the Ganodermic flakes in the first place. Make yourself some very high level armor. And make it a lot easier in the 2025 change, because it becomes only level 75 crafting, which is a lot easier. Not worried about crafting. That's going to be solved later. Also needed level 85 magic and defense for these fantastic new robes. Later changed to 75 defense, but not going to worry about that. It boasted some very impressive stats. Very high level of magic absorption, and high magic attack, and also high slash, crush, and magic defense, and pretty good melee absorption. Only things that really didn't work against were range and stab, but everything else, it was very good. Good enough that you could probably get away with using it with your melee or range set of weapons if you were trying to just get a whole bunch of defense and stuff against magic. Doesn't work quite as well with evolution of combat and all the accuracy penalties, but it's definitely a whole set of very nice armor. Well, that's not the only thing to get down here. Also from these big old Ganodermic guys, you get a polypore stick, which you can turn into a staff. It requires level 80, and then later 75 magic. And also level 80 attack for a week here, for some reason. Get a whole bunch of spores to put on the stick, with 80 farming. Make the staff. Also has a high prayer bonus, and its own special magic attack. Which may or may not still exist here. Yep. Polypore Strike. Level 80. And it's also in all the spellbooks. So you can use it along with Ancients or Vengeance, stuff like that. But it does need the staff to cast it, so it's a powered staff kind of deal. Again, not something we are going to be able to make use of. One, because we could just get a chaotic staff and that's literally just better. Because it's got the better stats on the staff also. And two, we don't have 95 Slayer to get it in the first place. Well, that's okay. A whole new massive dungeon. With a bunch of stuff we could do later. And that gets us to December 1st, 2011. Behind the scenes. Loyalty rewards, Batch 3. Flash Powder Factory. Wilderness graphical update. Christmas. Belt. Pouch. Stuff. On December 2nd, 2011. Gilnor Globe community newsletter with Christmas theme. We got updates, RuneFest highlights, Clan Pride events, caption contest, quiz quest, all sorts of stuff. On December 5th, 2011, Players Gallery, Halloween themed. The winner was a picture of Baby Jan. Next one's going to be RuneScape Windtumber themed. A little bit behind on the Players Gallery, unfortunately. On December 6th, 2011, download Google Chrome to get Chrome goggles. And they also have an emote. And we also got Loyalty Batch 3. It's got new auras with damage reduction, bonus prayer experience, and prayer point restoration, bonus damage, attack and strength boosts, life regen, more crop yields, better hunting, and higher tiers of a bunch of the previous auras, and emotes, and costumes, and titles, and recolors. And we are really not worrying about loyalty points and auras right now, because we only have space for one. And that's Jack of Trades. And they're items still. And it'd be awkward to deal with. And they're going away. So, yeah. Not worried about it. At all. Over in game, we got some patch notes. Clicking out of a cutscene in My Arms Big Adventure doesn't let you stay in the cutscene instance to run around. The Dominion marker lasts 15 minutes, up from 2. It's like a stat boost thing from Dominion Tower. Deflect Magic no longer gets a damage boost from the Verax set, somehow. And no more teleporting through a rock wall in the desert. Money-wise, over at the pet shops, they can swap 1,000,000 spirit shards at a time. So, bring 1,000,000 spirit shards, get your 25 million coins, do it as much as you want. Technically, you can try to buy spirit shards for like 23, 24. Make a few coins profit for doing nothing. Except for going and talking to a pet shop owner. Passive income. Not very quick, though. Because of buy limits. Also get 30 free bank spaces. Oh boy. We don't use a bank. And the Thanksgiving event has been removed. All the stuff here, all the armors from the Polypore dungeon now last 3 times longer if we need to add more flakes and everything. And the Ganondormic armor has had its slash defense reduced slightly. It's still really, really good against Crush and Magic. But at least that's one less thing it can do. We've also had the Polypore Staff and Stick. Had their Magic be the only requirement at 80. Had all their melee stats, which you could never use because it could only use the spell attack. All the melee stats gone. So it doesn't require 80 attack anymore. Just magic. And still, obviously we can't get all those things here. But what we can get is all of our money added to the money pouch. This saves us an inventory space and lets us go in cutscenes and dungeoneering without needing to go store our money back in miscellanea every time. And allows us to have more than 7.5 million coins that we can store. Not that we have that right now, but, you know, pretty good. An inventory space is a pretty good reward for doing nothing at all. So it's more like a present, which is what we said. But it's not just money. It is just money. The money pouch later becomes the currency pouch with all these other things in here. Like all these ecto tokens that we don't have. And even more interesting stuff. For right now, it's just money. And also just up to max cash, which is 2.1 billion coins with a little bit extra. Max integers and all that. We are nowhere near going to have a problem with only being able to have 2.1 billion coins here. So that's going to be fine. Stored in here works for exchange and shops and paying for things. It's safe on death, not lost in the wilderness. And there's also, at various points, some bugs with it and duping your money, but for the most part, it's a very nice place to put your coins. Super convenient all the time. What's even more convenient? Depends. Also convenient is a little bit over to another part of the interface, which is also still not this interface. Not only do we get to put money in a storage location on our person at all times, we also get a tool belt. Store tools. They don't take up an inventory slot or weigh anything or anything like that. Later on, most of the tools are put in here automatically. But for the first time here, we need to go put the tools on ourselves. We're going to run around to a whole bunch of different shops and get a whole bunch of tools that we're going to be able to have at all times from now on. There are so many items going onto this tool belt that we need to do it in sets. First set, general things. We got a bronze pickaxe, a bronze hatchet. Interestingly, only bronze at the start here. So, not really going to be good for training mining and woodcutting stuff, but in a pinch, could technically work. And we've done more with less previously. So, add these to the tool belt, but it doesn't actually do anything because it's already on there. And we add the bronze hatchet to the tool belt. Switching out the mithril hatchet that we put on there accidentally ages ago. Now it's gone. Now it's only bronze, probably. There's been a lot of weird things with tool belts later. You can put in higher level tools, then you could use them at lower levels and switch them out, but you couldn't only do it one time, or Now we just have bronze. That's exactly how it should be. Later, we can put in higher level tools, like rune, pick, and axe would be good. Dragon, crystal, even higher level stuff. Really depends how much we really want to get into super high level mining and woodcutting later. Whether we worry about getting the level 110 tools and stuff. And anyways, that is beyond right now. We also get a hammer, a chisel, a knife, tinderbox, saw, pestle and mortar, machete, shears, noose wand, and then also a watch and a chart for coordinate clue scrolls. But it's really weird because you already have it and you can't get it back and you need a clue scroll to get it in the first place. So that's not currently here, but it is. Or something like that. Then you also still need to bring the sextant in order to actually get the coordinates and actually do the clue scroll anyway, so that's all later. What we're gonna do is just drop all these things on the ground. Now we can do a lot of stuff with more inventory space. Like, don't need a saw and a hammer to do construction. Don't need a knife to do fletching. Don't need a hammer to do smithing. It's just very, very super convenient in a lot of different ways. And it mostly works. So we get the next lot of things. Here's everything for fishing. We got the crayfish cage, fishing rod, small fishing net, big fishing net, fly fishing rod, harpoon, lobster pot, and barbarian rod. Interestingly, fishing was one of the skills that actually already had some reward space in the whole, you don't have to have it in your inventory business. Had the barbed tail harpoon, the wieldable casting nets from the Deadliest Catch, which now are immediately useless since you just have all these constantly on your tool belt forever. That's alright. The amount of different places we need to go to get all these different tools and such. All the way over here to the monarchy base to get a chain link mold. One of the pile of different crafting supplies here. Some things, obviously easier to get than others. You get a lot of them in just any random crafting store. Then other things aren't there. You got the needle, blowpipe, and then a bunch of molds, amulet, bracelet, necklace, ring, tiara, ammo for cannonballs, bolt, holy, unholy, sickle, and chain link. Some of these we actually do need to add to the tool belt, as they are from quests and require things and all that. Still only get later auto-filled with free non-quest items. These other ones are now all on there too. So now we can go and make any piece of jewelry we want, as long as we have the bar. And we can mine the ore with our pickaxe that we also have on the tool belt. Fantastic. One final set of tools to get. It's farming stuff. Rake, seed dibber, spade, trowel, and secateurs. The spade specifically doesn't work for some things that a spade would work for, maybe, maybe not. So we might still need an actual spade for certain things. And the secateurs are not magic. That is added later. And also no watering can, because that still needs to do the whole charges thing. We also saw the magic watering can, that's also not available yet. There's a lot more things that are eventually on the tool belt here. Things that don't exist. We got the steel key ring on here. We can't open up all those doors because we don't have the keys on it. Store keys. All the fishing stuff. Later, a few more crafting things. Magic wiring can. Slayer stuff, invention stuff, archaeology stuff. 43 out of 77. But also with at least a few things that aren't supposed to be on here yet. Yeah. Tools. So many tools. Don't need to go get the tools. Don't need to have the tools in the inventory. They're just always here. It's pretty great. We can work with that. Very nice. Continuing on December 13th, 2011, New York won the RuneFest 2012 poll. It's not a guarantee that's going to happen there, but there's interest for it. That's something. In the patch notes here, can no longer walk in a waterfall in the God of War's dungeon. A clue scroll has been updated to reflect how a church now looks. You don't get an animation of +0 coins added to the money pouch when you claim 0 coins from Explorer Jack for the task coin reward thing. Can no longer use halberds to train on the dummies that are inside the training grounds near Ardoin. And just so many tool belt and coin pouch fixes. So many things that need to be individually changed to actually work with the tool belted items. Every single quest interaction, every item interaction, individually coded. Lots of things to check. We've also got a graphical update for the wilderness, which is not the same as the one it gets later, so we can't really look at that. Spacebar and number key chat window options makes things very convenient, either to spam through quests or not have to click the individual options. And the Rogue's Den minigame has been removed, but it's been replaced by the Flash Powder Factory, which we can't actually see here. We have to actually go into the minigame to get to it. No longer whole giant thing up to the north here. But a new thing. Requires 75 thieving, 75 agility, and 50 herb lore. You run around a bit of a, not really a maze, kind of a maze. Yeah, a bunch of different rooms with different connecting hallways, which sometimes are inaccessible and sometimes aren't, and you can switch which ones are open, and there's other people in there also switching things around, making things more annoying. You need to get between locations in this whole web of rooms. Get some reagents, A and B, bring them to a mixer, make some flash powder, since it is a flash powder factory. You can steal apparatuses from other players or have them be stolen from you. And the more you have, the more points you get when you make the powder. So, you want to have more. You also don't potentially want to antagonize everybody. Depends how you're doing. Also find rubble on the floor where you get the rogue armor that was previously available from the Rogue's Den here. Very, very rare though. And you can also find more powder and apparatuses in the rubble, but the rubble's pretty rare. Essentially, you run all around, getting points on a limited time, then you get teleported out and get some rewards. Specifically, one set of rewards here. No experience for Ironman. You can get the factory outfit. It does things. Benefits while in the minigame, for the most part. And then set bonuses that help with herb lore. You get 3 pieces. You sometimes make 4-dose potions. If you get all 5, you get the herb cleaning XP when making unfinished potions. Which is really not a lot, but it's technically something. It's more useful for the effects actually inside the minigame, realistically. Well, if we're going to make our own unfinished potions, we might as well have an additional 5, 10 herb lore XP. Would in theory add up. And as an Ironman, we can't get the thieving and agility XP rewards. Later there's more rewards, but also later it's also very strange. In 2014, the penalty for leaving early is removed, even though you can get as many points, and it's a diminishing returns if you do more, so you just kind of AFK at the end until then. And also there's more XP from the XP trade-ins later, and the rogue armor gets cheaper or more common. And in 2017, Ironmen are allowed to go into the minigame to get only some of the rewards, not the XP. So technically, we could do Flash Powder Factory until Ironman is released, and then it's a requirement that Ironman cannot do Flash Powder Factory. But with the current rewards and how long it takes to get them, we can just wait until 2017, I think. Technically, sort of an option, also not really. It's another weird situation here. That's alright. We've got a lot of other things we could focus on first instead. That's okay. And other things on other days. Like on December 14th, 2011. Use a credit card or PayPal and get a 6-month membership for the price of 4. Also get an ice mask. Lots of different card and promotional items here. Membership stuff. You can also go get the Bob the Cat Christmas card in the download section. Send a picture with Bob for a chance to win £30 store credit. Amazing. On December 16th, 2011, festive photos and Christmas captions competitions. Winners of both will also get the £30 store credit. On December 19th, 2011, Mod Timbo's Christmas Battlefield. Specially designed clan battlefield with a festive something. It's definitely something. On December 20th, 2011, patch notes. Left click rune shard grinding to make you be able to use your pest and mortar on it from the tool belt. Left click scrapey tree logs. Barbarian Assault checks if you can purchase the granite body before it takes your coins away. And you can clear fruit trees with the tool belt spade, since that's an actual farming use of it. Also had mining rocks updated to be shinier than the previous ones when they have ore. So you can see if it's shiny and it looks like it has ore in it. Kind of like already removed prospecting and all that, so that's something. Also get a bonus 500 loyalty points every day from December 25th to January 5th, which we are still not keeping track of because it doesn't matter at this point. And then over at Nex, clicks have been made better. Nex's click area doubled in size, so you can actually click on the boss instead of clicking past it. And no more option to climb down the entrance after you've actually climbed down. So more things to not misclick on during a boss fight. So that's nice. Also get the Christmas event, a towering feast. Starts over at the Wizard's Tower, helping Wizard Citrador to get the tower ready for the feast. Gotta cover the floor in snow, find the hidden imps, collect some ingredients for the feast, capture the decorations, and then actually have the feast. If you have your snow imp from previous events, you can summon them in for additional dialogue, and then you get your rewards. Well, this stuff's like puzzles and stuff, which shouldn't be too surprising. Rewards include the Sparkles pet, little tinsel snake. They were also part of the event. And we've got the Christmas wand. Is there anything special? It's magical. It sparkles. It's having a good time. And of course, a holiday emote. Chaotic cookery. Put a whole bunch of stuff in a cannon, fire it, and get your Christmas pudding. Tinsel snake. Fun times. You can also go do a Battle of Snowmen side event afterwards. Between the wizards. And also more decorations all over the world. Some snow and various decorations. And then snowman spawns that you can slay for snowballs or coal. That's something. Christmas. On December 21st, 2011. Register for a VIP access key to 8 realms for a few months before it's gone. And a security tips post. Register your email, use a unique password, use your bank PIN, log out of the game when you leave so people can't just steal your stuff while you're still logged in. More of a problem like libraries and siblings and stuff, but still. All kinds of security problems to deal with. On December 22nd, 2011, the RuneScape toolbar is now available in Chrome. Wow. And then, on December 23rd, 2011, we get that players gallery with the Windtumber theme. The winner was a gingerbread spirit shield set. And the next theme is New Beginnings for the next year. Get some Christmas wishes for the community, and Mod Saber doing a New Year's celebration for all 39 time zones as New Year's rolls around on December 31st, 2011. And this will be the point where we go to the next year, have the whole sort of different quests popping up at the end of year bit. But we still are working on editing the massive pile of videos that we made all in a row. So, we have time right now to do other things. And it's also time to do the things that we skipped past to get all those videos done as quickly as we could before things change. So now, we are going to actually go do some 2011 stuff. Because we have the time now. The first activity we're going to be working on is temple trekking. And also Bergdrat Ramble, because it's kind of the same thing. Previously, we didn't have the 2011 update with all the different people and rewards and things. So we just focused on the easy character the entire time from both directions. So essentially, we got these rewards early, but never used them. Pazuzu is a mage right here. As they level up, they get better gear and better abilities and stuff. They got the ability to use Bind, Vulnerability, Fire Wave, and the Staff of Light. We also get the Construction Gloves, which we could grab right now. But now, we're going to be moving on to the medium guys. Zachary Bragg. He's just a lower level mage. So he's going to be weaker and all out. As we get level ups, he'll do more things. You get the construction boots, and then he'll use Fire Blast, then he'll use Entangle, and at level 99, you get the option to use Quick Travel with the Kenefis Trapdoor shortcut, going straight to Morton. So, that'll be good. So we'll start with going with him here. Confirm again. You can give him food if we wanted to. It should be fine. Let us go. Start the trek. Not sure exactly how the food works here. Give him cabbage or something. Eventually they can tell you which path it goes, and all the paths are new. Here's some Juvenates. You can't attack them. We have the option of evading paths or continuing. Might give more rewards either way. As we continue doing things, they get levels. Or they get levels from fighting stuff. Depends on which things we end up getting towards. Like the gas here. You can do some magic and get some levels. Now he's level 15. Now he's level 16. Even faster with the fastest, best, easiest guys. We can also tank for him, but like all the stats and everything are very low. Needs a lot of XP. Now he's level 20. Essentially, I want to get everybody to level 99. Max out their stats, max out their rewards, all that business. It's already level 24. You attack this ghast. Some of them are more aggressive or less aggressive, or anything like that. At least for the hard and medium ones, we can mostly just let them fight stuff. Especially if we just do the easy path. It's a pretty easy job for everyone to deal with. There you go. Gas defeated. He's level 27 already. The main problem is the hard companions. They are not quite as good. We also got rewards here. Got some options. We got a bunch of pure essence. But we're not going to do that because that would have us need to go do rune crafting. Bowstrings. Can make some bows. And either sell them or alch them with the bowstring included for more profit and fletching experience. Silver used to be bars, which would have been good for crafting, but now it is stone spirits, so that's no good. Get a bunch of low-level herbs for the most part. We're really only going to be getting the low-tier rewards here. Especially if we just go through mostly the easy path. Low-tier herbs are like Guam to Harlander. It'd be an absolute ton of them, so probably not. Really don't need coal and iron. Nice interface. Wamelon seeds. Amazing. Could get some farming XP. Or some cooking XP and just sharks for later. Get the raw sharks. Might even be faster than technically fishing them. Or even just XP in random skills. Out of all this, I'm just going to go for some bowstrings for now. Got some ideas for nice, easy fletching. It's going to be a lot of fletching, maybe. We'll consider the situation as we continue here. Then from this direction, we had Dean Velium as our easy guy we started with. It's looking all fancy. Started with worse gear. Gives you a backpack, cosmetic reward, special attack, faster attacks, abyssal whip. So, it's kind of here. Moving on to Jane Klingen. Confirm. She is a ranger. Rewards for working with her. She gets faster attacks, double arrows to get speed even quicker, and then a dark bow. And lastly, the unlimited druid pouch. It's gonna be very cool. Don't need to get druid pouches, don't need a silver sickle anymore. It's gonna be very worthwhile. And there's also the full levels rewards. Total of everything. Maxes out at 594. We got the 100 here. Unlock the shortcut from the Swamp Gate to the Nature's Grotto, which would have been convenient when we went and made this silver sickle, but didn't want to get the thing, go back, get the thing. So now we're claiming it. Quick trip through the swamp to get to there. And then the construction hat. Also the XP bonus is more than it was originally. That's okay. Take out Archer. Confirm. And get going. Start the trek. Start the trek back. Back and forth, back and forth. Until the two medium guys get to 99. Also make a lot of use of all the stuff in the tool belt. And these piles of cabbages. And if we somehow take a bunch of damage, we got the Excalibur here. Also, I think the Excalibur and having sharks might be a little bit excessive, but This is not a safe minigame, technically. Technically. They are level 6 from just doing one thing. How linear or exponential or whatever their levels are is a different question. Another level 10. Another 13. They also heal between rooms, so mostly they can get the job done. Another level 19. Another level 20. We were gonna have this unlimited druid pouch in no time here. Should be good. The winner of the race to level 99 between Zachary and Jane is Jane. Reward: unlimited druid pouch. Or a Boris pouch. She is so strong with the dark bow and double hitting even before having the dark bow somehow. Put the dark bow in, still doing it? Actually got it. How on earth some random person in Bergerath got a dark bow? It's definitely a question. We're not gonna ask it. We're not gonna worry about it. We'll also get rid of some more things here, because we are just not taking any damage. We're getting some bowstrings, lots of bowstrings. It's going great. But now, we need to deal with the low level guys. Difficulty hard. Smitty. Rack. Level 20, they can scream and stun the enemies a little bit. Level 60, they can do a raspberry to lower enemy defense. At level 92, they can cast Heal Other. At level 99, heal spells, effects increase, damage inflicted reduced. So, they can basically do nothing. They are not going to help. They're not going to do well. If we try to have them actually fight, they are not going to succeed. So essentially, for the hard guys, we just need to get through the events. Probably might still be more just doing the continue track option. But this is pretty much how they can get levels. They are completely incapable. Maybe they can punch a little bit, but still. Mostly completely incapable. But hey, there's still XP for completing events, so it's technically something. Alright, Smitty. You want to attack this ghast? Do it. No? Not even aggressive? Okay. Well. And there is Zachary's level 99. Boots, blast, and tingle. Shortcut. Using Campus Trapdoor, and I'll take you all the way to Morton. Confirm. That's good. He got a new set of robes and ancient staff. Looking all fancy. But now we just have Rolane. He can't even run at the start. And then we can get a stick. He deals double, almost 0 damage. And then ability to cast Airstrike at level 99. So, definitely not the strongest either. But he does hit things with a stick, so technically stronger than Smitty. We don't really need his rewards right now. But do we have enough for all these rewards? Got the shortcut to the Nature Spirit. Swamp Gate to the Grano. Already on that, yep. We have the hat, and the trousers, and the top for the construction set. Then the only things we get more here, which we can only get by leveling up the hard guys, is a teleport on the games necklace, which we don't typically have a games necklace, to go to Bergerath. And then the Ghast Familiar, for getting everything max level, which we can't even do anything with because we don't have 87 summoning. So we're pretty much good here. Let us get all our bowstrings. And we might need to go back to the other side in order to get one more piece, if that's from one of their other people's reward options here. Because we can't get to them from there. Construction gloves. Construction boots. Construction hat. Trousers. And top. Oh, that is all of them. Okay. So the real reward from the other side is the pouch here, which is pretty good. But now, we can get bonus construction XP. And also probably store this in the house, which is also a good spot for it. But before we go do some construction, look at all these bowstrings. Let's use those. It took many, many years, but finally, welcome back, Rune Hatchet. We got the first one in RuneScape Classic by killing 5,000 fire giants. But now, we are finally at the level where we can stew boost to 86 smithing because the old mining and smithing table still. And we can make our Rune Hatchet. Previous bits of woodcutting and fletching and construction and stuff, we just had an adamant hatchet, which was a lot easier to make. No boost needed. But this is going to be even better. Very good. Stew boost, have the cat here. Lovely. Just need to get a few more things together. It's time for fletching. Rock shell, constructors, and fire capes stored in the house. Blisterwood polearm dropped. Don't need that anymore right now. Elemental runes also gotten rid of. If I need more elemental runes, I'll just home teleport to Lumbridge, run over to Alcarid, buy them from Morsane. Also went to Morsane and all the other rune shops in the game to get some nature runes here. Fire staff from Zafs. These are gonna be high alchemy stuff. Chop and use over near the flax field. And then run over to Canterbury. It's a good enough spot. Unnoting, the only thing we can do with a bank here. Crafting with our knife that we have in the tool belt now, saving us an inventory space. Pretty great. Getting fletching XP, and then getting more fletching XP, and then high alching them for 768 coins, which is great and all, but like the nature runes cost us a good chunk of that money, so we're making about as much from alching them as we would from just selling them. But we also get magic XP, so that's always good. That'll work. Let me just get 12 more bowstrings before we leave, before we alch these. We can bring those, make the longbows at the trees, alch them on the way back, get more logs, get more bowstrings. It's all gonna work out. It's gonna be great. Moved over to the gnome stronghold. Access to farming patches and a bank right up here, right next to the yew trees. With the changes to wood cutting, the trees come back quick enough that it's not a problem. Only having a few around. And there's 93 fletching. That is next level of effigies. Gravekeeper traps in Damonheim. And later, criminal bolts and emerald criminal bolts. Alright. Had just about enough bowstrings and everything to get this level. That worked out nicely. Now we just do 100 more here, and we'll be done. Here's the last shield bow. Longbow. Longbow. Getting us up to 2.3 million coins here. Not bad. Since it's all in the money pouch now, it's a little more difficult to see exactly how much we've gotten. Have to go back and look at how much we had before. Before we purchased all the nature runes and all that, in total, made a profit of 850,000 coins. Also got some rune arrows from a ninja impling that I found. I'm gonna sell that to a shop. It's pretty good. We can sell the staff of fire. Gonna keep the rune hatchet for now. And go get some teleport runes. and head over to the next thing we're doing. Another 2011 thing. It's the lava flow mine. Yay. There is a themed world for this, but unsurprisingly there's no one here. Just to mine here. And our pickaxe is lower level in this mining node. That's perhaps not ideal. Prospect the crust. Lower requirement 68. Is that hardness? Speed multiplier? Lava flow crust. If we actually need a stronger pickaxe, that's not gonna happen. Requirement 68. It's probably looking for an acronium pickaxe. Well, the idea here is to get to the 50% spot here, to the steam gauge, and then mine this. Mining XP, not too worried about it. What we want is to fill up this bar above here. That's going to spawn what we need to get pieces of the mining XP outfit. Which again, we don't really need more mining XP. I'd rather have the smithing XP when we do mining and smithing. But the smithing outfit is behind Artisan's Workshop, which is completely changed with the mining and smithing rework. Also this bar here, mining and smithing rework. Normally, it would take hours, most likely, to get each piece of the outfit here. But in theory, it should be more like 15 minutes. Assuming our low-level pickaxe is doing good enough. We do have 87 mining, so maybe that counts for something. We shall see. Took a little bit longer than it should with this not good enough pickaxe. But less time than it would have taken, so kind of evens out. Here is the liquid gold nymph. Oh, wow. Creature formed entirely out of liquid gold. Oh, darling, that outfit you're wearing is so dreary. Wouldn't you rather wear something stylish and gold? Yes, please. Liquid gold nymph gives you a pair of golden boots. And then they leave. We get the boots. Gives us a % more mining XP. Used to be like 0.3 or something. Percentages. And now, we just need to do that 4 more times. An amount of time later, here's another liquid gold nymph. Oh, you're looking very good indeed. Just one thing missing though, I think. Would you like the final piece? Before we talked to them the last time here, probably ask, who are you? Oh, you might say I'm an aesthetic, my love. Just a humble appreciator of beauty. Okay. It's like gold. Just having a good time. Final piece. I can use the Varrock armor with the gold outfit. Yep, that's true. What would they know about the Varrock armor? That's a good question. Yes, the gold armor looks so much better when you wear the complete set. It's like a special arrangement. If you've earned your Varrock armor, you're wearing all 5 pieces of my gold outfit, you get the Varrock armor effect while mining. You could get the same effect by wearing the Varrock armor and the other 4 pieces of my set, but that won't look nearly as good. Fair. Last piece. Thank you. Golden top. This is a full golden mining outfit. Neat. We can put this in the house, along with the construction outfit and all that stuff. Luckily, the armor case here maxes out at mahogany, and you can store infinite number of things in here. Some other problems with the other ones here. Only so many stuff. Higher levels required. Definitely might do some construction at some point here. But for now, and speaking of the constructor's outfit, I might go and just do the rest of temple trekking. Because why not? Rolane naturally got to level 99 first. Mostly because he can whack things with his walking stick. So actually did a little more damage. So, that's something. Let's see if the Dragon's Medallion can teleport to Bergdorant, so I can just do from that direction. Or just keep traveling back down there and getting more reward tokens. Either way works. And there is Smitty, level 99. And that is all the rewards. Like this gas familiar that we can't have yet because we don't have 87 summoning. But still, that is temple trekking complete. Unless we want to come back and get more bowstrings or the other rewards. Marmalade seeds, sharks, whatever. 3,200 bowstrings. It's definitely a lot. The Valiant did work. It's great. Don't need any more. Don't need all these cabbages from the dream. Does mean it's going to take us 3 days to buy all the nature runes, but that's fine. Lots more fletching to go do. Getting plenty of tree seeds from bird nests from all the wood cutting. And so, here is level 81 farming. We've got a lot of trees planted in various places, all kind of growing and doing stuff. And later on, we can also grow some Zagamites. It's gonna be great. Magic experience. From all this high level alchemy, there is 94 magic. That is Ice Barrage and Vengeance. And later, Red Topaz Criminal Bolts Enchantments. I don't know if we're really going to make much use of ancient magic or lunar magic or anything, when regular magic is just so much cheaper. But still, options, I guess. 102 wood cutting. That is not a thing, but later will be. So it's not a virtual level, technically. Unlocks increased bird nest chance from just all wood cutting, I suppose. Plus 2%. Can't turn that off. Guess that's just gonna be more farm and XP. That's fine. Yeah. 102. Same as the cooking. Here is the final U short bow, using up all those bowstrings. That's like 70% of a fletching level. We're definitely already quite of the way through the previous fletching level before we got that previous set of bowstrings. Well, that's alright. High elk. This gets our cash stack nice and secure in the coin pouch here. 3.5 million coins. So we had like another 1.2, 1.3 million. So, decent. We are going to want more money here now. And we can now have as much money as we want, which is also great. So it's going to be quite a bit. But before we go and get that money, we've got a way to get it even easier. We can upgrade. That's going to help quite a bit, pretty much everywhere. And that starts with papayas. And then we use the papayas as bait to catch payas. And then we use the paya meat as bait to catch grenwalls. This whole bait thing is definitely a system here. And sometimes it can fail, and you lose everything. It's a mess. We just need a few grenwall spikes here. Here's some grenwall spikes. That's more than enough. I'm drop the rest of this. Hear it? Meh. I can get some hunter XP then. Technically something. Grenwall spikes. And then there was a bunch of chaos druids and hell rats and Zamorak monks. Doing a whole bunch of stuff over here at the ranging guild. Got this grimy dwarf weed to make a dwarf weed potion, unfinished. Mix in a wine of Zamorak for a super ranging potion. Just called a ranging potion still? Probably. And then we want to add in Grenwall spikes. which needs 92 herb lore. So we have spicy stews to try to get a +5 boost. Did nothing. That was not the spicy stew. That was a regular stew. This one's spicy. We got it. Look at that. It already disappeared. No, it's still here. There's no herb lore boost because reasons here. 92 herb lore. Make extreme energy potion. Drink it. And that is the achievement complete. The task complete. The task set achievement diary complete. Sears Village. Set tasks. The elite ones. And all that. Let's go get our reward. That wasn't so bad. That wasn't so hard. Sir K in Camelot Castle will give us our reward here. And unlike the Falador elite task, which we also have done, we actually can get the rewards from this one, which is also nice. Did we save the Grenwall spikes? Well, it's okay. About the task system. Was that headband I gave you, Hardcore Ultimate Ironman Artic? Lost it. Look, we have a spare headband you can have. Okay, here's your Sears headband. 3. Yeah, that's good. Greetings, Sir K. Completed all the elite tasks in Sears Village set. May I have a reward? Well done, young sir. It was an awesome adventure indeed to have completed the elite tasks. Sir K hands you a headband, and he concentrates for a moment. You hand Sir K your headband, and he concentrates for a moment. Some mysterious nightly energy passes through his hands. He gives you your headband back, along with a few old lamps. Flax will give you 200 flax per day. Seekers will ship 200 of your mine coal to the bank. You may find your skill with crossbows and those fantastic enchanted bolts is improved. Ah, and you will find Excalibur is further enhanced. Thank you for your work around the area. Thanks, Sir K. You're most welcome. Yeah, the rewards from this. We can get 200 flax sent to our bank per day, which is not helpful, since we can have things in the bank. More enchanted crossbow bolts, which we don't use a crossbow. Coal can also go to our bank, which is, again, not helpful. But the elite enhanced Excalibur, actually something we would actually care about. Previously, we had the enhanced Excalibur, healing roughly 200 per 5 minutes here for the special attack and all that. And with the elite enhanced Excalibur, it's literally twice as good. So anywhere we were previously doing some amount of healing, but just not quite enough, is now going to be possibly just enough. And of course we also have like Soul Split. That's also a thing that exists. That takes prayer points, so there we go. Enhanced Excalibur. And it's also elite enhanced, even though it doesn't actually say anything. Improved. Held in offhand? Also not sure yet. That's alright. So that's going to be a great source of healing. Then we also got all these lamps, which is also good. These are requiring levels 70 and 83, so we actually can use them on Herblore. There's 25,000 XP. This one is 30,000 XP. This one is 30,000 XP. And this one is 30,000 XP. And this one's 30,000 XP. For a total of 145,000 Herblore XP, which is pretty good. And that is level 88 Herblore. In a really weird situation where some of our stats are boosted and stuff, but, you know. 88. Now we can just make extreme attack potions whenever we want. Super attacks plus Avanto could be a pretty solid Herblore training method. Super attacks are really easy. That's just Irit and Izanute. Then summoning renewals. I don't think those exist yet. Yeah. And that gets us one step closer to having a Herblore level we can actually use to get the Falador lamps in. That's like 90, so it's a work in progress. While we still can make progress in Herblore. But now that's done. And now we can use the Enhanced Excalibur to go do some combat. But of course, we're going to need a weapon. The rune hatchet, not gonna quite cut it. We're going to get the strongest weapon we've ever had. So that's pretty good. Shop here. The reward trader. Get a chaotic maul. Previously we had the chaotic rapier, level 80, one-handed melee weapon. And with the whole evolution of combat stat changes later, effectively, two-handed weapon. It's basically 50% stronger. Also, offhands later, but still. Chaotic Maul. 200,000 tokens. We got some. We can destroy it later for like half the tokens back or something. Worth it. Buy a Chaotic Maul. There you go. Also went and got an Amulet of Glory from a Dragonstone, from the Crystal Chest, from the Crystal Key, from Magpie Implings. Picked up the Monk's Robe and Zamorak Robe. Because we're going to the God Wars dungeon, fighting spiritual warriors. Technically, the Chaotic Maul, being a melee weapon, not the best choice against warriors, because they're also melee. But if we got the Chaotic Staff, we'd have to supply copious runes. That's going to be a problem later too, but for now, I'm going to hit some stuff with a really big maul. It's going to be a good time. Accuracy is leaving a little bit to be desired at 74%, but good enough. Stronger than what we brought here previously. There he is. 96. Constitution. That is combat 132. No unlocks. And an Alk. Only get the Alk salvage replacement things, not the actual coin drops. Because there was no coins on the drop table yet. Some other drop table changes coming probably soon here. One of the reasons we might actually be here right now. Changes are a problem if there are changes that are going to happen in 2026. Because we are nowhere close to that. So we're just going to keep on Alkin stuff, live the dream, and seeing if the Elite Enhanced Excalibur can do all our healing for us. We also are switching to Soul Split sometimes, get a little bit of health back. And when we run out of prayer, we'll go to the Zammy room, be able to put on our rock shell body. As much as that, it's really going to help. We'll see. Level 87 defense. Switched over to get defense XP since it was really close to a level there. Gets us nothing. More defense, technically. With our armor, we really don't have a lot of defense in the first place, so it doesn't actually make that much of a difference. But anyways, we also are going to need to return back to Dingenheim sooner rather than later, because Chaotix start with 20% charge. We're going to keep on charging it with the mostly tokens option, because we got tokens, we're going to get more tokens later, it's going to be fine. The whole idea here is to make money, so spending a whole bunch on tokens probably wouldn't help too much. Once the prayer points are gone, for Soul Split and in the main cavern, come over to the Zamorak section, put on the rock shell plate, fight the guys here. There's only Zamorak guys in the Zamorak section. Unfortunately, the Elite Enhanced Excalibur is not quite enough for continual sustain here, and they don't actually drop sharks. So, we're eventually gonna have to leave. That's alright. We will leave stronger than before, since we beat up this warrior right here. And that is level 88 attack and strength. Got those evened up again, because why not? Saving defense for like range, possibly magic later. Or melee if we get to that point. And that will later be the Elite Tetsu, Katana, and Wakizashi, and nothing. several thousand spiritual warriors and over 1 million combat XP later. This is going to be level 89 attack and strength. That is nothing and nothing. Changed up the method here a little bit. Just fighting the warriors here in the Ceridome section in the middle. Or to make good use of prayer, which is possible to just get infinite health from. Time it correctly. You can turn on Soul Split, turn it right back off, and heal without it draining any prayer. But if you do miss time, it does drain a couple prayer points, so technically could stay here forever if you timed it right. Well, not quite forever. Eventually we'd run out of nature runes and chaotic maul charges, but besides that, we're making a lot of money. At a rate. It's okay. Good enough, at least. And then, even more spiritual warriors later. 602. It's a good crit. Here is level 90 attack and strength. Some interesting stuff in here, for sure. That is later. Elder Rune weaponry. I guess Promethean weaponry does exist in Daemonheim. But also later, Drug weaponry, Noxus Scythe, Calphite Defender, Spear of Annihilation, Noan Spike Harness, Amzid, Brass's Mercy. Over in strength, Promethean Maul exists. We get a 50% critical strike damage bonus, which is cool. And Anhedge later. Some updates on how we're doing things here. There's a few different healing weirdnesses. There's a 5-minute cooldown on the Enhanced Excalibur, but if you log out, the debuff goes away and you can use it again. That also doesn't exist until 2014, so we're not doing that. And also, from like 2012 Evolution of Combat, the Enhanced Excalibur loses its healing special attack ability thing for a little bit, so that's going to be a nerf, which is great. So, making use of it while we can here. Constant nice heals here. Another weird thing is how Soul Split works. Currently it should be 25%, but it's not. Since we're in Legacy mode, it's 10%. And then in Evolution of Combat, it has fractional healing percentages. As you hit higher, it heals less percentage of the next portion of the damage. But the weird thing is what it does with low amounts of healing. If we were in the Evolution of Combat side of things, and we were hidden with our Soul Split, the max you can heal is 25% of the remaining health of the enemy has. So, usually can get that from low level stuff. But then things with really low health, like this imp, we should be getting the 10% currently, which would be 2. But instead we healed like 40. Because, for some reason, in Legacy mode, with Soul Split, currently, you can heal what you would have hit on overkill damage, for some reason. Very strange, doesn't actually matter. It's just something. Anyways, we are getting lots of money. We still need more though. I'm gonna keep being here. Might switch, do some defense training, because also future updates here with range and magic might be making us do significantly less of that in the future. So, let's get some defense up. Why not? Over in DeleteScape, aka 2026, the next entire system being removed from the game is the loyalty store and loyalty points. I was already not really counting how many loyalty points we should have, since the only thing we could or wanted to get was Jack of Trades for the daily XP here. Gonna keep doing that until all auras are deleted at some point here. But now the entire store is also being deleted. So, went through and got some emotes and animations and cosmetics and recolors and hairstyles and stuff. Couldn't get all of it. Some of it's going to be added to the new store in rotations and monthly maybe free things and etc. There's a lot of stuff in there. So we'll see. And we also got, since it's a month here, Troll Invasion. Another nice bit of XP here. Haven't said if they're deleting all the weekly and monthly things yet, so we'll see. Next victim of DeleteScape. It's Legacy Combat Mode. Created and maintained to have an effect of being like the old combat in some fashion. It worked on a system of doing between 0.75 and 2.3 times weapon or ability damage or something. And now, that's no longer a thing. Instead, now have the kind of mostly lame for two-handed weapons holding styles too. There's no legacy animations, no legacy stance. And there's also no weapon speed. Now everything in the game is 3 tick. And it all hits the same damage every single hit. Because instead of actually swinging your weapon and doing damage like it's used to be, you're now secretly just using the new Evolution of Combat 2 auto attack for every attack. Instead of having a scaling damage from 0.75 to 2.3, so you can hit big hits and be cool and have a fun time, it now does between 1.1 and 1.3 times damage. So you do the same hit every time except for the 1 in 20 or whatever when you hit a crit and it's only slightly higher. This also means we're only hitting small damage twice as often because it used to be a 6-tick weapon. Now it's doing 3-tick auto attacks, which makes using Soul Split half as good and twice as much effort. And we're also probably charging through charges twice as fast, which is also a nerf. And also the damage might be a nerf. It's really hard to say. Previously it averaged out to like 1.5-ish times, but now it's like 1.2-ish. But we also got a slightly different curve on strength, damage, scaling, additional damage, which should technically be better than it was. And we also got changes to defense. So now we have 83% accuracy here instead of 75%. Doesn't really matter in situations where we are the correct style though, so it's probably overall a nerf. And probably using charges twice as fast. So, definitely less exciting when we always hit the same damage. And it's strictly in every facet worse than just using abilities, actually. It's so not even its own separate thing. And we're also getting Bloodlust stacks, which don't do anything unless you use other abilities. You get some mediocre sized crits, hit all the same damage every single time. Soul Split's worse. Weapon speed is always the same for everything. There's also like no offhand attacks at all, so dual wielding would be even worse. The whole actual combat, Evolution of Combat 2 changes is going to be a problem with Evolution of Combat, but for now, it still mostly works. We can still fight things, it still hits. It's just a matter of how much better or worse it really isn't. It's also deleted a whole bunch of spots where legacy combat actually was good and helpful and better, more convenient. Because now it's just spamming the worst attack constantly. So, let's see if anything with this changes. Probably won't. With the new combat numbers we're getting here, all very consistent, we are getting 5-hit kills every time, or a 4-hit kill if we get incredibly lucky and or a crit. But it's so tantalizingly close to getting more or always 4 hits. Just look at the loadout information here. This is our main setup. Damage of 252, which doesn't exactly multiply by 0.83 and then times 1.2 or anything to get the numbers we were getting, but that's the numbers. With the rest of the rock shell, that increases by a little bit. We can also go get Barrow's gloves for a little bit more. That's about all we can do. But then we need replacements for the God protection. And we can do that in a few different ways here. Starting with ham. And there we have it. Apparently our first clue scroll ever we've done, which is fantastic. Want a very specific thing from here. Shouldn't be too rare. We don't get some of the systems, like rerolls and all that. Most of the stuff is completely different. And drop pretty much everything. Salvage and stuff doesn't exist. What we're gonna do is keep those law runes though, I guess. That's more accurate. That's fine. So it's gonna do a number of clues. Just gonna open all these in Lumbridge, dropping them nearby. That is the wrong kind of arrows. Casket number 3. Holy biscuits. No. These coins are probably gonna go straight into the coin pouch, aren't they? Close enough. Yep. Number 4. Meerkat. Fetch casket scrolls. Okay. Getting some pretty awkward. Requires items to wield. Parts of these clues here. Well, this was towards the end, so it was worth it to go get these things. Some of them are a lot more difficult to come by than go make a gold thing and buy some stuff from shops. Anyways, clue number 5. That is a Black Helm H2. Worth 1,000,000 coins. Once invention is a thing. Someone's dead. I'm dropping it. We should drop it. Number 6. Clock tower teleports. Clue number 7. Studded body G. That's another 1,000,000 coins. But not really. Drop it. 8. No. Here's casket number 9. Also, the item I'm looking for is like 3 times rarer than I thought it was because clue scroll mechanics. But still, there's a chance. Nope. Alright. 10th casket. No. Okay. In terms of things that have been worth it, this has not been one of them. Just gonna go back to the old setup. The whole idea here was to get Zamorak arrows and then go make a Ring of Devotion. And then we could have full rock shell on at the same time. Instead of all the things we're doing here. Anyways. Probably wouldn't have worked anyways. Because the actual extra damage from having rock shell top bombs and barrel skulls wasn't actually that much. Anyways. Here's level 88 defense. That is nothing at all. That's alright. In theory, more defensive, but probably not. We don't really have armor on. I got the defense pet. Wallace. That is another skillin' pet. How many of those we got? Pets. Mouse pets, skillin' pets. Got a couple of them. Neat. I didn't even plan for this to line up so perfectly. But here we are, fighting another spiritual warrior. Shocking. And there he is. Well, I guess it didn't line up. 89 defense. That is nothing. Oh, one last warrior here. That is 97 constitution. And 133 combat. It was a little bit off because they had taken a little bit of damage or something. Doesn't matter. That also unlocks nothing. Except for 10 more life points. And a little bit more defense, in theory. Did go back to flicking soul split twice as much. Got a lot of kill count here. And a lot of money. Level 90 defense. That is a lot of things that don't exist. Let's open this up and look at it. That is going to be Elder Rune, Masterwork. I mean, I guess we do get the Dungeoneering ones. Prometheum, Spirit Bloom, Tyranno Leather. If we have bind slots available for armor. Other things that will exist later. Tectonic, Cyretic, Malevolent, Shadow Realm, Shields, Raceback Gauntlets, Ascension Grips, Celestial Hand Wraps, Ember King Boots, Flare Frost Boots, Hailfire Boots, Terralith Primeval, Tempest, and Acto Terralith Primeval and Tempest. Caliphate level defenders, Gravekeeper Longbow, I guess. And also Crypt Bloom, and Death Warden robes, and Death Dealer robes, and Dracolich armor. A lot of stuff at level 90 defense. My goodness. Wild. And that is base 90s combat. Except for summoning. Which doesn't really count. Not that we have any level 90 weapons we can wield, but still. Pretty good. With this final high alch, we have what we wanted. 50 million coins. That's a lot. That's a lot. It took a long time. We fought just so many spiritual warriors. Could, in theory, try to get an estimate based on the amount of hit points experience gained or something. But still. Thousands, maybe tens of thousands. Something like that. Enough to get 50 mil of alchs. So, here we are. And now we're going to take this 50 mil of alchs and go spend it. Training construction. Specifically because there is some kind of construction update happening at some point here that might change everything entirely. So, I want to get this done while it's still correct enough. Move the house over to Remington, chop oak trees outside, get the oak logs, give them to the Demon Butler. 24 at a time. Got our teleport runes and chaotic maul in the inventory still. We got the rune hatchet, the full constructor set for more construction XP. Not too worried about additional woodcutting XP from the actual chopping part. We are doing fine on woodcutting levels. What we can do here now is construction. Build stuff, build more stuff, get all the experience, all the levels, like level 83 construction. One thing we need to be aware of is the fact that most of the things in here we could have made already because of all the leveling up stuff. But in terms of new things, level 83, without boosting at all, we got the Infernal Chart, Decorative Dungeon Pipe, Teak Dungeon, Treasure Chest, Rocknar, and a Major Pit Trap. Not gonna make most of these things, but, you know, still something. And then we leave, and then we get more logs, and continue doing this. Level 84 construction. Wow. That is more things. Specifically, a mahogany treasure chest, dungeon torches, mahogany telescope, steel plated oak doors, marble tape, marble trap, pits, scabrite. Neat. And calculated how things are going here. About 50,000 construction experience per hour. So, another 200 hours or so. So that's pretty good. Now I'm going to exit the house and pick up a curry seed that I have sitting on the floor. Well, there's the construction pet. At 3 million experience. Baba Yaga. And that is also Jack of Trades, for collecting 5 non-combat skilling pets. Neat. These still don't exist, but still. 85 construction. In the form of the last frame of the 3.5-hour recording I didn't know I was doing before I stopped the recording to try to record getting this level. Anyways, that is Gilded Mahogany Clock, Bone Cage, Toxil, and later Night Light option, and the Kitchen Tier 3. Also, I have a papaya seed. Yay. 86 construction. Recorded and everything. Look at that. That is Mahogany Toy Box, Small Orrery, Wall-Mounted Kite Shield, Huge Spider, and 30 rooms. I'm not going to use that many rooms, but sure. Another thing we can get from woodcutting from the nests is bird eggs. These don't work the same way as they used to, because it changes in the 2020s. We got a raven egg earlier, so now we can take it out of the incubator because it's done. We've unlocked a raven pet. Specifically, we would have gotten a raven chick and then needed to feed it and it would grow up into a raven and etc, etc. That is not what happened. Look for raven here. Comes as this. Call it. Change the sizes. And it's an interface pet. Also can't put it in the menagerie. But now we have a raven. We're going to stick the Ceradomin bird egg in here. And it'll hatch later. 87 construction. All that is more things. Gilded Mahogany Wardrobe. Gilded Mahogany Wardrobe Bedroom. And Mahogany Dungeon Treasure Chest. Also, got another egg. I'm back at the incubator. Ceradomin Owl. Okay. Put that in there. Now we have this. It's in the pets. Ceradomin Owl in chicken, bird, and owl forms. Again, would have had to actually feed that and grow that like a cat and everything. Also, the god birds count as a god item in God Wars, which is interesting. We're kind of past that now, so, yeah. Back to construction. Here's the Jade Vine. Doing some Jade Vine stuff. One of the only times we really use turmoil, but, you know. Fighting weekly here because the XP changes. Getting a bit of farming. And right now, Slayer XP. For level 79 Slayer. That is nothing at all. Amazing. Bird update. Take egg incubator. That's Zimrak. Got the green one now. Put that in there. Again, didn't have to actually raise it from a chick to a bird to a hawk. But it's here now. Counts as a Zimrak item. 88 construction. That is skeleton throne, teleport trap, mahogany overlet ladder, mahogany lever, mahogany trapdoor, and later hidey hole master tier. Bird update. Take the Gothix Raptor and put in another raven egg. Apparently this is how you get the multiple different kinds of ravens. Gothix Raptor. Chick, bird, raptor. can also choose to have them appear in the menagerie, where they should be. So that's neat. Put the other ones in there, too. Wreck. Hawk. Appear. Saradomin. Owl. Up here. Alright. I guess Raven, too. Why not? Raven. Regular. Up here. Okay. See what that all looks like. Should have the cat. Got the pet rock in the corner. What's that like? Got the Rune Guardian over there. They're in chick forms. Yeah, whatever. They're doing their best. 82 farming from all the bird nest seeds. That is later Lamp and Flora. And then if we teleport back to the house and also be in building mode here, make another oak larder as we've been doing for level 89 construction. 2 levels. Don't get that too often. Well, that is the Greater Magic Cage, a Pit Black Demon, large chapel statues, and stained glass chapel windows. Really could add some more decorations if we wanted to. We will see. And here is level 90 construction. Another level 90 plus skill here. Wild. And that is quite a few different things. Marble Cape Rack, Troll Guard, Dagonoth, Masterpiece God statue. And then later, Port's Adventurer, the Architect, Base Camp, Player Lodge, Tier 3, and Acronia Farm, Large Pens, with 98 farming. Note on Dragonkin Fixed and Siege Engines, Chapel Tier 3, Refined Elder Planks, and Elder Frames. A lot. Of those things, only 4 exist. Of those things, we already have the Marble Cape Rack. But now, it should be pretty easy to get an upgrade. Originally, the plan was to go to 99 construction here. That's what all the money's for. But scheduling and time that it takes to do this, like I said, 200 hours, not enough time right now. We have other priorities that have popped up. So, we're not going to worry about decorating or anything. We're just going to get one upgrade here. 325,000 coins for a marble block. A crystal seed turned into a crystal saw. And a demon butler prepared. Cup of tea. All of our magic stuff removed from the magic wardrobe. And the magic wardrobe itself removed. Put it all together. We've got a marble magic wardrobe, which can hold all the things that it can hold. Unlimited space we're not really going to use, but we could if we wanted to. And that is the last unlimited space thing here in the costume room. We got all the armor and treasure and fancy stuff and toys and capes. And also matches, marble and marble. Technically there is a magical cape rack, but that is 99 and it also holds everything and would cost 1,000,000 coins, so not gonna worry about that. But there you go. That's at least kind of something. Functionally it's not. We could go and get like full mystic from Slayer drops or something. We get full skeletal. Could do some room crafting. Split bark. Infinity. Probably not. But the option's there. We're also going to see what the options are when all of construction changes. So yeah, let's just get a quick view of everything in the house here. We can look back at if problems happen. Our mithril armor, the servant's bedroom, our bedroom. Looks fancier. Climb down the stairs. We got the portals, all 7 of them, because those are all the ones that exist. Our Amulet of Glory and our second of Amulet of Glory, which are both stuck to the walls. Got some fancy stuff in here. Telescope that looks at the wall, which is not great. The menagerie, which we turn off building mode. Actually see all the birds. Got another raven. Had to turn on the option for larger birds. Now they're here. And a cat. And a rune guardian. And a pet rock. Also got this other side here. Got the everything you could dream of in the workshop. The non-matching dining set, as you do. Kitchen with all the oak larders and shrapnel of all the oak larders we destroyed. Into 90 construction. There you go. We will see. And you'll also see a whole new year. After a break to go play old school RuneScape League 6 Demonic Pacts. Next time, goodbye.